Maybe this is a time for us to ask for super chats because we need new cameras.
Well, we have a new camera, so we got one. But yeah, we need some
Don't let the
updated
people
equipment.
know. Don't let the people know.
No, we need some new gear, man. Like I told you, the laptop you use every day, that was paid off courtesy of the viewers.
Nice.
Yeah, so we're gonna have some things to talk about, man. Kevin O'Connor went on a rant about the Spurs. But
I think there's a lot of truth to it, and
is he wrong?
because you have to think to yourself, why are they doing what they're doing, or why are they playing the lineups that they're playing? Sporting News coming out with a crazy article today.
Look at JHNSB. Remember when Mike was talking about playoffs? Give credit to Joe where it's due, sir. Another thing we're going to talk about is why are the Spurs yet again increasing ticket prices for season ticket members? Yet again, Mike. That's why I discontinued my season tickets last season. I said, you know what? This team ain't it, man. I ain't paying money to see an inferior product, dude.
You know, I mean, they got better.
Oh, look, this is breaking news here, Matt Gomez. SAFC has began mending the process with supporters. Mike, Matt, we're going to have to bring you in so we can talk about this because this has been a heated discussion and we need to hear from the fan side of things because it's been a mess, man. It's been a mess. The game was so bad, I changed it to AEW at halftime. What did I tell you guys, man? The Spurs are a bad team. That's it.
Welcome to another episode of the Area 210 podcast with Mike Jimenez and Joe Garcia. Make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Join the discussion as we broadcast to you live from beautiful West San Antonio. And remember to tip your host as it helps the show grow.
It's a cold, chilly day here in San Antonio, the Alamo City. This is the Area 210 podcast coming at you from the west side of San Antonio.
Yeah.
My name is Mike Jimenez. That's Joe Garcia. I am wearing black because I'm in mourning after watching the Spurs get their asses handed to them last night in Boston. The score is not as close as what it really was, dude. The Spurs got blown out from the get-go. They were down 20 points basically at the end of the first quarter and at halftime. It ballooned even more than that. The Spurs did make a run, make it single digits down the stretch, but Celtics pulled away. Celtics beat the Spurs by 13 last night. Some bright spots, some bad spots of last night's game we're going to get into. You know, the Sporting News last night published an article about Stefan Castle and saying that the Boston Celtics are going to make a run at Castle. Is he untouchable? I mean, the trade scenario that they had there is pretty bizarre, but it comes hand in hand with the fact that Stefan Castle did play there in Boston. Celtics won 116-113, or 103 rather. Stefan Castle had 20 points. For some reasons, the ninth guy on the team, right?
Yeah.
We see talent-wise, he's the second or third best player on the team. Third best player on the team behind Wemby and Fox. But for some reason, he's the ninth guy on the team. Goes out there, scores 20 points. Still in line to win Rookie of the Year. His average has increased to 12.9 points per game, so he's getting closer and closer to 13. And I think the outside of the world is looking at the Spurs right now thinking, what the hell's going on? Kevin O'Connor of Yahoo Sports went on a huge rant about the Spurs yesterday, calling it a soft tank, a quiet tank is what he was calling it. He was saying, why in the world is Chris Paul getting minutes when Stefan Castle is getting better and better by the day?
And you can see that here. I retweeted it early this morning.
At MJ Acquired Taste.
Nope.
At MJ Acquired Taste, is Chris Paul washed? Lots of votes already in. Last night, Chris Paul played 28 minutes, scored 5 points on 2 of 8 shooting, 2 rebounds, 8 assists. Dude had 4 steals, though. So he was active in the passing lanes, but couldn't make a bucket, wasn't trying to make a bucket. Meantime, his protege, Stephon Castle, 20 points, 7 of 16 shooting, knocked down all 4 free throw attempts, had 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. One of them was a pickpocket of Derek White at center court.
I saw that. It was a tandem there. It was Devin Vassell and Stephon Castle kind of picking Derek White's pocket.
He was pissing Derek White off last night. Derek White is cool, calm, and collected, right? Last night,
no.
When Castle was on him, he was hating life.
You know what? You can't. There's no upgrade that you can make for youth. You know? And what does Castle have? Youth, speed, athleticism. Kid's got it all, man.
But you can't stop the fact that the Celtics just make 3-pointers after 3-pointers. Jason Tatum last night, 32 points. Kristaps Porzingis, 29. Derek White had 19. They shot 18 of 55 from 3, which is not a lot. Not the greatest percentage, but they still knocked out 18 3-pointers. This is a team that is going to shoot more 3-point attempts than 2-point attempts. They go for the efficiency. Last night, the Spurs lose 116-103. And it's one of those things where the idea of making the play-in tournament is slipping away. You have to be at least 500 to get there, right? Spurs are 23-29. That would mean the Spurs would have to go 18-12 the rest of the way, play 600 ball. And it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. Lots of breakdown of today's game. We have some NFL news coming around as well. The quarterback carousel seems to be starting up. Reports that the Steelers are going after Trevor Lawrence. Are the Jags willing to move on from the Golden Boy? We'll get into that. You can be part of the show by taking part in our stream. We're live on YouTube right now. Our stream is powered by MCS General Contracting. Lots of people pissed off about the Spurs right now on this.
Yeah.
What you got going on over there, Joe?
Oh, man. You know, the chat is powered by MCS General Contracting. As we have on the screen right now, we got the rant by one Kevin O'Connor. And he was just saying, you know, word for word, Spurs lineups are a joke, which Spurs fans know this. We've talked about the lineups here on the show as well. After adding De'Aaron Fox for a 93-year-old, Chris Paul is still in the starting lineup.
93. It's 39.
93. That's what he put on here because he's trying to make a point. You know, I get it. Starting with Stephon Castle receiving even less playing time despite outperforming CP3 by a lot. This is a choice of a team that doesn't actually want to make the playoffs, a quiet tank. And you know what? This isn't like conspiracy theory time to play the X-Files music and whatnot and make up convoluted stories. This rant actually has merit because Spurs fans aren't stupid. They know ball, and they know when they see a team tanking, right? Or trying not to make the play-in, trying not to make the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Why are you rolling out the same old, tired lineups that don't produce? Time in and time out.
I think it's just the respect factor of Chris Paul. They don't want him to go out like that. And he's
Seabiscuit. Chris Paul is Seabiscuit, the old racehorse. Remember the movie Seabiscuit? What do they do with racehorses when they're past the prime?
They take them out to the back and shoot them.
No, that too. They make glue out of them back in the day. But they put them out to pasture, dude. Let them live the rest of their life, eating grass, making babies, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, I understand both sides of the conversation piece. The both sides of the conversation. One, you have Chris Paul, who's a legend, the first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the best point guards of all time, top 5 for sure. Right? He's probably a top 25, top 30 player of all time as well. Yeah. But that being said, we do know what we see. We see that Chris Paul is getting slower by the day, and we see that the engines are revving for the rookie Stephon Castle. This is how you know that Stephon Castle is a good player, Joe, is the fact that at this point in the season, remember last year, it happened to Wemby also, they fall off, right? There's just the level of play falls off. Somewhere around February or March, they get tired because you look at it and you think to yourself, well, in college, they only play 40 games, right? But in the NBA, it's an 82-game season. They're traveling to Paris. They're doing all this stuff. We've seen Wemby look tired. We've seen these young guys, Sohan hit a wall at some point in his rookie campaign. But what's Castle doing?
Nothing.
Castle's getting stronger by the game. Well, and that just shows how good he's going to be.
They're not doing nothing with the kid, right? That's the thing that's pissing me off. Castle's getting better. They're doing nothing. Like, give him more run, man. Give him more playing time.
Now, he's not starting, but he got 24 minutes last night against the Celtics. Had 20 minutes against the Wizards, 29 against the Magic, 31 against the Hornets, 20 against the Hawks, 28 against the Grizzlies. So they're giving him around 24 to 25 minutes a game, more or less, right? Last 10 games, Joe, he's averaged over 18 points per game. Last 10 games, including a career high 33 against the Hornets. He had 20-point games against the Clippers, the Bucks, 20-point games against the Grizzlies and the Celtics, all in the last 10 games. He's also shooting the three ball a lot better, close to 40% in the last 10 games. Remember, we all heard the storyline. He can't shoot, right?
Yeah.
Can't shoot. His three-point shooting has increased to 28.9%. Still an awful shooting percentage. But when you compare that to where he was just 2 months ago, just a month ago, it's a night and day difference. His steals have gone up. He's one of the lead leaguers in steals when it comes to rookies. His assists at 3.5 per game. We're seeing a more and more well-rounded game, and more importantly, he's playing both sides of the ball. Stephon Castle is defensively the second best defender on this team behind Wemby.
Look at what July 26 puts. Johnson's coaching has definitely been bad lately. If we were to reevaluate him,
possibly. Tony Anala saying Spurs coaching graded an F is what he's saying. But at the end of the day, you look at it, Joe. Spurs were 22-60 in back-to-back years. Right now, they have more wins than they had last year. So Mitch Johnson has taken this team up to a higher level, whether we want to admit it or not. I think what it is about Spurs fans is that this is losing season in a row number 6.
Yeah, but
I think we're tired.
Yeah,
we're frustrated about it, and I think right now the Spurs knew we tanked 2 years ago to get Wemby.
Yeah.
And for Spurs fans out there trying to do revisionist history, saying that's not what we do. No, we tanked.
We don't often tank, but when we do
it for the
turns into a
player.
number 1 pick, right?
We did a soft tank last year. We were also just a bad team.
And what did that garner us?
We got Stephon Castle number 4, right? This year considered to be a pretty good draft. At least it's top heavy. Top 4 or 5 players, pretty good.
What are the Spurs doing?
A bit of a soft tank. That Atlanta pick is going back and forth between it being a good pick and a bad pick, simply because the Eastern Conference is so bad.
Yeah.
If they qualify for the play-in tournament, that becomes a bad pick for the Spurs. It's just going back and forth.
I wanted to do some math with you, right? Since you're a big numbers guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Spurs, after they come back from the All-Star break, right? They're going to have 30 games left on the season, right? They're already more than halfway through the season. They're 3/4 of the way, right, Mike?
Mm-hmm.
30 games left in the season. What do the Spurs have to do to try to even sniff the play-in? They have to go 20-10 the rest of the way.
I would say 18-12.
But that's, to me, looking at this team, I don't know if that's doable, Mike.
July 26th saying Chris Paul and De'Aaron Fox shouldn't be on the floor together at all. I'm going to talk a little bit about De'Aaron Fox, but Chris Paul, I do have a poll on Twitter. I posted this last night asking the question, is Chris Paul washed? Joe, we have 158 votes in. 50% saying yes and 50% saying no. Chris Paul has something left in the tank. A couple of things about it also. Ask the question, is it time for the Spurs fans to start revving the engines on Team Tank? Joe, should we start the tank right now?
I think the Spurs have started revving the engine up on the soft tank.
Yeah.
Ever since Mitch Johnson became the interim head coach, right? He came in, made an immediate impact, changed the lineup. Spurs were looking good, but then what happens? Old man Coach Pop picks up the phone.
Okay, so here's that comment that you had by Sam Salinas saying Spurs coaching hindered by backstage presence of Pop. It's no secret he's still running the show.
Is he lying?
I don't think he's lying. Right now, 59% of fans, 101 votes in, saying the Spurs should just simply tank by now. 40% saying, 41% saying, let's just pump the brakes a little bit. Let's see how this plays out throughout the end of February.
This team they get out rebounded. They can't really play consistent defense. They can't shoot a consistent jumper. They can't shoot a consistent 3, right? And let's go ahead and do this. Let's be honest with each other. You have De'Aaron Fox, right, added to the fray. You still have all your other core pieces. Sohan, you have Vassell, you have Wemby here. You have Johnson here. But let's put the spotlight on Devin Vassell, specifically on Devin Vassell. Spurs fans, if you're not mad at Devin Vassell, you should be. You should be, because you know what? Giving him a pass, those years are gone. with the advent of now adding De'Aaron Fox to the team, right? You would think that they would have some consistency added to Devin Vassell's game. That has not been the case. To me, he's damaged goods. He's peaked. This is what you're going to get out of him. Get rid of him, man.
Devin Vassell last 10 games rather.
Disappointing.
Last 10 games, his points per game has dropped to 14 points in the last 10 games. Devin Vassell shooting just 28% from three the last 10 games.
You should hold the fire to Devin Vassell's feet and make him be accountable for his own actions or lack thereof, because he was arguably the second best player on this team before you added Fox.
Well, it's kind of weird because you take a look. Just 3 games ago, he was 11 for 14 against the Orlando Magic and had 25 points.
Up and down games.
Just
man.
5 games ago, he had 20 points on 9 of 18 shooting against the Hawks. He's had some decent games. He's averaging 15.9 for the year. But it's back-to-back games where he's played 31 minutes and had single-digit points. 7 points against the Wizards, 8 against the Celtics. He's a very, very inconsistent player. This is a player, Joe, that last year averaged 19.5 points per game, is now down to 15.8. This is his three-point shooting for the season, down to 35%, which is still a decent three-point shooting percentage. But compare that to 37% last year, 39% the year before that, 36% the year before that. This is the worst three-point shooting season that we've had from Devin Vassell since he was a rookie. Joe. We now know who he is. And he's a guy that's making $29-30 billion off of this team in a single season, and he's not earning the money. Now, one stat that I saw out there, and somebody got pissed off about when I was pointing it on Twitter, because people hate plus minus, Joe.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, Joe, the plus minus is not a really good indicator of how a team plays because, well, it's all about the lineup. But I did mention yesterday the Spurs got their asses handed to them, right? Spurs got their ass kicked, right?
Sure did.
De'Aaron Fox played 39 of the 48 minutes. Do you know that when he was on the court, the Spurs were +1?
+1.
While he was on the court, which means that the wheels fell off when
he left.
When he left the court. Harrison Barnes played 30 minutes yesterday. Do you know what his plus minus was? It was 0. Look at that. The veterans, when they're in, the Spurs are fine.
Yeah.
Now, you might say, well, Harrison Barnes, that plus minus could be a little bit weird. He only had 14 points, all that stuff. But the whole De'Aaron Fox plus minus doesn't matter. It does matter because who the hell is bringing the ball up the court? Who's running the offense at that point? It is De'Aaron Fox. What I want to see is what is the plus minus when De'Aaron Fox plays with Stephon Castle. That's what I want to see. We need to look, call SAPD. There's a missing persons report.
Who is it, Mike?
Jeremy Sohan.
Don't say it, bro.
Dude. I mean, it's not like Sohan's playing awful when he's out there. Last night, 2 for 3 shooting. But he only played 13 minutes. A healthy Jeremy Sohan played 13 minutes yesterday. Unless his back is worse than what we thought. What happened to Jeremy Sohan, Joe? His shooting's improved this year. His three-point shooting's up to 34% of the year, which is kind of getting respectable.
Yeah. He's a role player now. He doesn't have to be that guy. But you know what? Spurs still want to be cute, silly, and dumb. And let's go ahead and put him out there at center.
Is Sohan ever going to start again?
Fuck no. I shouldn't, dude.
You see? There's limitations to his game. He's limited what he can do. And again, that 34% is because other teams let him shoot.
What happens, Mike? If he goes anywhere in the league, team picks him up right now. Is he a starter? No, he's coming off the bench. Why shouldn't he be coming off the bench here?
He's a bench player for every single team in the NBA.
What is he? An above average defender.
He's an above average defender.
Best defender we have, but he's not saying much.
He's Boris Diaw. They wanted him to be, and Spurs fans thought, oh, we're going to have the next Kawhi Leonard. He's Boris Diaw.
They thought he was going to be Bruce Bowen, bro.
Right.
No, he's not. He's
Rodman.
No.
Shut the hell up.
He has blue hair, Mike. He likes to crash his car. He likes to do some day drinking. You know?
JHNSB says Sohan wouldn't start on the Boston Celtics G League. Now, speaking of the Celtics, again, they beat the Spurs 116-103 last night. A report from sportingnews.com. Now, sportingnews.com has gone down, right? I used to love the Sporting News back in the day. SI, Sporting News. They're kind of questionable right now, but they did have an article that posted last night after the game saying that Celtics fans should take a look at Stephon Castle and think to themselves, would you be willing to give up a star in order to get Stephon Castle, the upcoming Rookie of the Year?
Yeah. And you know what? July 26th brings up a good point here, Mike.
Right. What? Bismack still didn't get played only 24 seconds. Bismack Biyombo sucks.
He ain't going to sniff the court, man.
Well, what is the fascination July 26th? Okay, I'm not mad at you.
You're getting mad.
But Spurs fans are like, Bismack Biyombo, who played for four teams in 4 different seasons, who was playing like 8 minutes per game. You're like, that's the answer, right? Because he plays center, backup center. We need to get Bismack Biyombo out there. Bismack Biyombo sucks now. He sucked then. He's going to suck in the future. He means nothing. He's the Dwayne Shinsis of the team. That's an old throwback, Joe. Dwayne Shinsis.
Rest in peace, man. Rest in peace.
You know. So, Joe, let me give you the Sporting News Stefan Castle trade proposal. Let me know what you think over here.
All right, let's hear it. You got it up there on screen?
Yeah, the article is written by Colin Keane, and it was saying the Spurs could trade for a Celtic superstar this summer. And it says, the Spurs have a working relationship with the Celtics.
Yeah.
Right? We traded Derek White to them, Brad Stevens. We know their front office.
Yeah, they gave him, they let Aaron Baines go and he became a Celtic?
Yes, so there's a working relationship between the two teams. And they were saying that the Celtics right now are kind of in salary cap hell. Too many stars, too many big names out there.
Too much money, dude.
Too much money going out, luxury tax issues, things like that. They need to get rid of somebody. And you can't have 2 Chiefs on that lineup, right?
No, man.
You'd have only 1 leader on that team. So the idea is that this is Jason Tatum's team. Even though Jaylen Brown is more clutch.
He got paid more money.
Got paid more money because it was his time. It's kind of like Dak Prescott lining up for $60 million. It was his time, right? That was what the max was at that time. Jaylen Brown being dangled in front of the Spurs in exchange for Stefan Castle. But it's beyond all that.
Yeah.
Okay. It is Jaylen Brown for Stefan Castle, Harrison Barnes, some salary cap filler, and 4 first-round draft picks.
Well, you got to make the salaries match. All that to go ahead and acquire Jaylen Brown.
Mm-hmm.
If I was the Spurs, I'd say hard pass, man.
Now, Sam Salinas is asking the question because, Mike, why are you referring to a Sporting News article? Didn't you just say they're not as reputable as they used to be? There's a rhyme and reason to this, and I believe that this is all BS, by the way. But the reason why I'm saying this, Sam, is because it goes back to the Kevin O'Connor criticism of the Spurs and the soft tank. We asked the question just right now, Joe. Jeremy Sohan, if he played for any other team, would he be a starter off the bench? Bench, right? But if you ask that question about Stefan Castle, would he be the 9th guy on the team, the 6th guy, or a starter on any other team? And most teams out there are looking at our guy going, why aren't you guys playing him more?
Yeah.
They're looking, dude, if you go in on Twitter and the Spurs are playing on ESPN and you just search Stefan Castle just for people who are just watching the game nationwide, they're looking at this guy with outright excitement. When that guy's going to be a star. That guy's going to be really good. Or maybe not be a superstar, but he's going to be really, really good in the NBA.
Yeah.
We wish our team had him. And the Spurs right now are playing him behind Sohan, playing him behind Keldon Johnson, playing him behind Chris Paul. So they're wondering, wait a minute, if he's the 9th guy on their team because that's how they feel about him, why can't we just go after him?
Why can't that be me?
And yeah, a little 3 doors down action. So I found that to be interesting, man. Seth coming out saying, Matt, give it up, dog. Jeremy isn't him. I don't understand the fascination over him. Why don't you defend Devin Vassell the same way you defend Jeremy Sohan? They're 2 whack-ass, non-talented peas in a pod. What? We got to scroll up, dude. Was Matt Lerma doing the I'm still here for you?
Yeah, he was doing it again. He's back. I'm going to go back here. Here it is.
Matt Lerma says Joe's going to have an epic meltdown when Sohan goes back into the starting lineup next season. He better ball out next season. Next season is a contract year for Jeremy Sohan. I mean, if he was part of the Spurs future and he was healthy, wouldn't he be playing more than 14 minutes? I mean, Jeremy Sohan's minutes keep going lower and lower and lower, even though his shooting accuracy is getting higher and higher. Jeremy Sohan is averaging 26 minutes per game right now, which is inching closer and closer to his career low. Last few games, 18 minutes, 21 minutes, 13 minutes. He's just a dude, man.
Who is this? Sohan.
He's Boris Diaw, dude.
He's
Dennis
just a
Rodman.
guy.
He's Draymond Green. Shut the hell up. Shut the hell up. That guy can't catch a pass half the time, but an above average defender.
You know, and somebody was getting mad. I think it was Sam Salinas or somebody. They were saying, why do you keep calling Sohan above average defender? He's the best defender the Spurs have, right?
No, he's not. He's the fourth best defender the Spurs got.
One of the best, all right, that Spurs have. But he's just above average. He can't really he's
not locked down.
He's not locked down. He can play decent defense, but he's not going to be this guy that's just going to lock down the opposing team's best player. He's not locking down those best players in the league. Dude.
Spurs have one potential lockdown. That's Wemby, his defensive player of the year. So you can say that he's locked down. Second best is Stephon Castle. He doesn't lock you down, but he makes you pissed off. He's
a gnat.
He's a gnat that's really, really good defensively. Third is De'Aaron Fox, who led the league in steals last year.
Swiper.
And then they call him Swiper, right? And then fourth, you've got Sohan. You know, I mean, he's a good defender. I mean, I'm not going to say he's a bad one. He's a good one. Yeah. It's just like, okay.
He's all right.
He's a piece. He's a role player. He ain't going to be a star. And he's already at the end almost of his contract.
Yeah.
You know, it just is what it is. But his price point getting lower and lower and lower by the day.
You know what Sohan is? We compare pizzas, right? What would be your top tier pizza, man?
Well, like, you know, there's like Grimaldi's and there's places like that. That's
really good.
Really
right?
good.
Really
the
good.
Gourmet pizza places.
Gourmet. You know what? Sohan just gets the job done. You know what he is, dude?
He's Papa John's.
No, not even Papa John's. Papa John's is too good for him. He's Little Caesars. He's hot and ready, brother.
He's a little bit, I think a little bit better than that.
Nah, hot and ready.
A little bit ready.
Hot and ready.
Better.
Give me 2 hot and readies and a crazy combo. That's Jeremy Sohan.
Spurs doing the soft tank right now, man. Doing the soft tank. We see it right now. NBA Tankathon suggests that the Spurs have the number 10 and 11 pick if the season was to end right now and the things were to go to form. 10 and 11 right now. Atlanta at 26 and 29. The Spurs at 23 and 29. There is one team that is close to the Spurs as far as the Spurs could potentially leapfrog over them in a good way, and that is the Portland Trailblazers. Chicago Bulls are just basically outright full-on tanking right now. The odds of the Spurs, so the question is this, Joe. The Spurs either need to win just 30 games or win 40 games. Anything that's in between there is no man's land. If the Spurs win just 30 games, the Spurs are going to be picking more than likely in the top 7. If the Spurs win 40 games, more than likely the Spurs are in the play-in tournament. So what I'm trying to say is, Joe, winning 31 to 39 sucks.
Yeah. No lies. But you know what? As bad as this team is, right? And as bad as the product that they put out there, and they've even shown you fans, and they've shown all of us, they have no intentions of winning anytime soon, right? Not right now. They're quietly tanking. They're trying to acquire assets. They're doing some things that make the fans excited. But at the end of the day, they're still not going to amount to much. And what do? As a big middle finger to all of the fans, Spurs, Sports and Entertainment, have yet again raised ticket prices for the season ticket members. Why?
Tell me more.
Why would you want to go ahead and raise ticket prices? Again, you already did this in the prior season, 15%, right? Depending on where you're sitting, lower bowl, upper bowl, wherever you have your season tickets, now you're being hit between a 15% increase again, and even more if you're probably in the lower bowl. It's probably going to be feeling the pinch about 20%, 23%, somewhere around there. But the product that you keep putting out there on the court is inferior. Mm-hmm. Why are you increasing ticket prices? And they're like, well, they're doing this across the league. They're raising their ticket prices. Why though? Are you going ahead and making improvements to the Frost Center? No,
Joe. It's because of supply and demand.
It's dumb. It's dumb.
It's a business, Joe.
It's dumb.
It's a business, and that is why you look at certain games right now where. I mean, I'm not going to say, oh, you have to be poor to be a real fan, because that's stupid too.
Yeah, no.
But it gets really corporate down low. You and I see that when we go to Spurs games, right? You go up to the upper bowl, and that's the gente, right? That's the puros out there enjoying the game. You go to the midway part, you got some people who are more affluent, but they're not season ticket holders. That's the 100 level, right?
Yeah.
Then you get down to the double digit level, right? Section 5 and 15 and 25 and all that. Those are all corporate types, right? Those are all corporate dollars being spent on there.
Yeah.
The Spurs are trying to make a buck because if they figure that if they up the price, someone's going to buy it. So it's supply and demand. Joe, they're not going to increase their prices because they're winning and decrease their prices because they're losing. It's not how it works, man. It all works on if there's somebody willing to pay the ticket price. And obviously they believe that someone will be.
To me, at the end of the day, man, if you're going to be a season ticket holder, you got to love this team regardless of what happens out there. If you're going to wind up paying these increased ticket prices. Me, I'm not doing it, man. I'd rather just go to games here and there. But when I go, I'm having a good time, right? I'm going to be down there at the court, in the Spurs club that they have down there, getting my free food and booze and all that. You know how we watch games, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
We enjoy ourselves. I'm going to be in the skybox. I'm going to go watch a game. But being a season ticket holder just isn't in the cards for me right now. Not because I can't afford it, because I refuse to go ahead and pay that type of money to see this shitty team. Not doing it.
Somebody's going to pay it, dude.
Somebody
Somebody's
will,
gonna pay
but
it.
it sure as hell ain't going to be me.
Let's give some love to our friends over at MCS General Contracting. We'll talk more Spurs down the way, but MCS General Contracting has that Diamond Hard Concrete.
MCS General Contracting, more than 30 years of combined experience in concrete placement. They are the best in the business, honest pricing, high quality work. They get going on house foundations, driveways, concrete patio decks. If you want to extend the deck, extend the driveway. If you're a business and you need to put together a slab, a parking lot, or other concrete placement services or sidewalks, reach out to MCS General Contracting at 210-774-9155. They're confident in their skills, so give Chris Leha over at MCS General Contracting a call at 210-774-9155. And thank you for being a sponsor of this show.
That's right. They do Diamond Hard Concrete. They do an amazing job, man. Give Chris Leha a call. They've been a big supporter of the show from the get-go, 210-774-9155. Typically, we do pop culture towards the end of the show, Joe, but I want to move it up.
You want to bump it up?
I want to bump it up a little bit. Did you see the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees were announced?
They were making fun of you yesterday because you said mana.
Well, I mean, here's what it is.
Oh, you're going to call ICE because they're going to be in there?
So 2025 came out. So last year we had like Lenny Kravitz, I believe last year. We had Sheryl Crow make it as well. But the new nominees for this year include, and this is by,
let's see.
This is according to loudwire.com. Yay or nay? They typically induct like 5 or 6, right?
Yeah.
14 acts are being nominated right now. They include Bad Company. Yay or no? Give me a thumbs up or thumbs down.
Yeah, thumbs up.
Bad Company? Really?
Thumbs up. Let them in, dude.
I think a lot. To be honest with you, I think every single one of these is deserving.
I'm just telling you.
But I'm saying, if we had to pick 6 of these, okay, so I'm going to name them. I'm going to say we're going to pick 6 of these. Bad Company.
Okay.
The Black Rose.
Okay.
Mariah Carey. Chubby Checker. Joe Cocker, Billy Idol, Cyndi Lauper, Mana, Joy Division, New Order, Oasis, Outkast, Fish, Soundgarden, White Stripes. I believe at some point, all of these bands are going to be in at some point.
Yeah.
It's kind of like one of those things like, which one is a first ballot Hall of Famer? Well, last year, everyone thought Mariah Carey was going to get in. In fact, Vegas odds had her as being like the odds-on favorite to get in. She didn't get in.
Damn.
Okay, Mariah Carey. And I don't want to hear this stuff about, oh, well, it's not rock and roll. That's not the whole thing, Joe. If you saw the movie about Bob Dylan that came out, the one with that's out in the theaters right now, that's up for Oscars.
Yeah.
Do you know what rock and roll means? Rock and roll means white. Did you know that's what it means?
Okay.
rock and roll means white music.
Okay.
Back in the day, this is not a
So no
political-
mana
this-
then.
this-
You're
this-
saying mana's out.
Well, no, this is not a political thing. Back in the day, you had the rock and roll charts, and white artists hated the fact, and white record labels hated the fact that there was integration of black music and white music on the same chart. So they created the rock charts, which are white acts,
Mm-hmm.
and they created the R&B charts, which were the black acts. That is actual and factual.
Okay.
That's what they did, right? So whenever you hear people say, "Well, it's R&B," that's code for that's black. When people say that's rock, that's code for that's white.
We're getting canceled, Mike.
It's not being canceled. This is historical fact. But that being said, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is not about quote unquote what people consider to be rock music. It's about all music in general. Okay, it's over there in Cleveland, Ohio. So that being said, Bad Company, Black Rose, Mariah Carey, Chubby Checker, Joe Cocker, Billy Idol, Cyndi Lauper, Mana, Joy Division, New Order, Oasis, Outkast. Here's the way that I look at it, Joe.
Yeah.
Well, I want to know, you give me 6 of those 14 that you say you want to have them in there, Joe.
That's a tough decision. You know, at the end of the day, you're looking at the list that you said, right? Billy Idol, deserving, right? I think he is.
Mm-hmm.
Chubby Checker. I mean, I think he's more than deserving. And then you have other artists, Mana. I think they're deserving.
Right.
You know?
But you got to make a call. By the way, before we get into that, last year's inductees were Mary J. Blige, Cher, Dave Matthews Band, Foreigner, Peter Frampton, Kool and the Gang, Ozzy Osbourne, and A Tribe Called Quest.
Outkast, I think, you know, man, they brought in that vibe, right? From the West Coast, right? That Atlanta flair, you know? Visionaries as far as what they were doing with their sound, because nobody had heard anything like that before. I think if you're a unique artist like that, visionary, you have a new sound, and you're breaking records, breaking into the industry the way they did, they're more than deserving. They need to be in there. You know,
2023 class, by the way, Willie Nelson, Sheryl Crow, Rage Against the Machine, Missy Elliott, Al Cooper. So they're doing about 8 a year.
Yeah, I base it on how revolutionary were you? Outkast, I think, is one definitely. Another one would probably be White Stripes, as far as their sound goes.
Okay,
you know, those are deserving. Even to an extent, Mariah Carey and what she was able to do with her voice alone, being a very good singer at the time when she first came into the industry, right? Looked great. She had the entire package. Looked great. Could sing. Had the pipes and everything. Amazing vocalist at the time, right? So you got a couple there, right? But then you have like Chubby Checker, for example. I think he was another guy that came in, was kind of revolutionary for this time. So to me, it would be on how revolutionary were you out of the people that you've listed.
Okay.
How impactful were you?
So let me jump on that then.
Okay.
Bill Simmons of The Ringer back in the day said that there should be 2 Hall of Fames.
Okay.
There should be a Hall of Fame and there should be a Hall of Greats.
I thought you were going to say the Hall of Very Good.
He does have the Hall of Very Good. You know, Tom Chambers was the Hall of Very Good, right? Sean Elliott's in the Hall of Very Good. Never Hall of Famer, but you made all-star teams, right? I'm looking at these musicians here. I think that there are 2 that are stand out above all of these. And that's Outkast and Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey is one of the top 30 selling artists of all time.
Had a great voice, man.
She wrote all of her hits except for 2. But she has the most #1 hits from a female artist of all time. I think her is up there with like Beyonce, Whitney Houston, all that.
Yeah.
She's a shoo-in, dude. She's a legend. Should have gotten in last year.
I think she should too. I mean, if they don't bring her in, I mean, that's a travesty, dude.
Right. I agree. Outkast, though, amazing. I mean, how influential they are.
Have you ever heard that sound, right? Before Outkast. You know,
Dude,
that was unique.
I mean, you know, I know they had their hit songs, like if you look at the beginning
Hey
of like
Ya.
Hey Miss Jackson, though, the 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 music when it starts off, it sounds like it's whizzing.
Yeah.
The zzz, zzz. Do you know what that is?
Hmm.
They're playing the bongos, and then they played it backwards. It was the sound of a
Yeah.
bongo being played backwards. That's the beat of Miss Jackson from the very beginning. So, and they slowed it down. Great. I think the two that are out there that should be in there, like no lie, Mariah Carey, Outkast. Number 3, I would say Chubby Checker. The Twist and Let's Twist Again. What do they say about Hall of Famers? Can you tell the story of the NFL without this player? The whole thing about Eli Manning. Should Eli Manning be in the Hall of Fame? Eli Manning was literally a 500 quarterback, had just as many losses as wins, but you can't tell the story of the NFL without him because he beat Brady twice, and he was a Super Bowl champion twice, and he was Super Bowl MVP twice. You can't tell the story about rock music and dancing without. If I was to say, Joe, name me some dances from the last 60, 70 years, you're gonna go, well, there was this or this, there was the twist. Like it just comes to mind.
Checker. You also have Jerry Lee Lewis, right? The
Yeah.
cochino, right? Elvis Presley, another cochino, right? Great musicians, great artists, should we say?
Chubby Checker, 83 years old, man. I want him to get in while he's alive.
True enough, dude. I mean,
I hate this posthumous stuff.
Let him
when he's in. Get him in. Bad Company. I mean, good band, but Black Crowes. I think Black Crowes is one of the most overrated bands of all time.
They're good.
They're good. They're good, but their biggest song was a remake. Come on. Joe Cocker's amazing. I don't think he belongs in this class. I saw Joe Cocker in concert at the Joint in Vegas. It was a great concert. I think he should get in at some point. Not really. Not this time. Not with this lineup. Billy Idol. In the midnight hour, she cried, Mo, Mo, Mo. The MTV revolution. Who are the two people you think of when you think of music back in the day? If I was to say, think about MTV when it first came out, I think of Billy Idol. I think of Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah, man. I mean,
I would say those two need to get in with Mariah, Chubby Checker, Outkast.
Yeah. Billy Idol's biggest hit, dude. And this is a banger to this freaking day, dude, with all the synthesized synthwave music.
Yeah.
Eyes Without a Face.
That's no human face.
Dude, that's a banger, dude. And I've listened to the remixes that they do of this jam.
Yeah.
It still holds up, man. Still holds up.
White Wedding's a good song. What was that one song, dude? This is Demon Mike coming out. Remember that one song that he had back in the day where it was like some girl that was like house sitting his house? Rock the Cradle of Love. Oh my God. The girl in the Rock the Cradle of Love video was
smoking.
Was a nugget.
That was when Billy Idol made his infamous return. Was it like in the late 80s, right?
The early 90s. It was like the last hit
like
he had.
89, 90, something like that. Yeah.
Dude, I remember when that video first came out, and I saw an interview with that girl from the video.
Yeah.
Who said that to this day, people still what was it called? Go out to her and go, "Aren't you the girl from that video?" Yeah. And she's now like 50 years old.
God.
Let's see if we can find these images here.
Rock the Cradle of Love.
Yeah, this girl right here.
Let's see, bro. It's not a cochino.
No,
right?
no. But that girl had her moment in the early 90s. Remember, she's kind of just house sitting or something. She's drinking the wine, and she spills the wine, and then she takes off her top and all that stuff. Oh my goodness.
Mike's getting a little hot in here.
Man, Lerma's saying the only thing about Joe Cocker that is amazing thing about Joe Cocker is that he lived so damn long. Dude's brain was fried. Dude, Joe Cocker, when I saw him in concert, was so sweaty. If you look at old videos of Joe Cocker, he just sweat through his clothes, man. It was so awful. Like he was like the Patrick Ewing of singers. You know, Patrick Ewing glistened, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we had to pick 6. I'd say Mariah Carey, Chubby Checker. I'd say Billy Idol, Cyndi Lauper. I'd say Outkast. And I don't see how you hold out the best rock singer of all time. Personal opinion. If you say the best rock voice of all time, number 1's Freddie Mercury. Number 2 for me is Chris Cornell. How do you leave Soundgarden out?
The late Chris Cornell, man. Great voice, by the way, man.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing artist. Amazing artist.
And it's nothing against the White Stripes or Mana or New Order or Oasis or Black Crowes or Bad Company or Fish. They all should get in.
Yeah.
But you can only pick so many.
Yeah, and I was going to say, I have a poll running right now. So if y'all want to go to my X, I guess you could say, at Area 210 podcast, we asked the question, Spurs fans with Kevin O'Connor calling out the team's lineups and refusing to play Castle over Paul. Do you believe the Spurs are quietly tanking this season? Overwhelmingly, we have 75% of the vote say yes, 25% say no.
That's right.
Make a vote. Cast your vote.
Oh, look at this, dude. Billboard.com has their rankings as to who they think is going to get in. Who's going to get in? They believe order of odds is Oasis at 1. Come on, man. I mean, Oasis is great. They deserve to be in, but number 1 out of all that. They believe the White Stripes are even money. They believe Outkast, Fish, Mariah Carey, and Cyndi Lauper, along with Joe Cocker. They believe on the outside looking in is Mana, Black Crowes, Chubby Checker, Soundgarden, Bad Company, New Order. New Order is interesting, man, because New Order lived on in the music that became the Killers, because the Killers are a New Order sequel.
I love the Killers, man. I like the Killers.
I've seen them in concert 5 times, man.
Great, dude.
They're great. When are they going to announce who's the halftime or the
NCAA
concert video here?
Too, bro. It's already what? We're already in February, right?
Yeah.
It's like February the 14th is going to be tomorrow.
Dude, you know what? If I had a bet,
I need to know.
If I had a bet, they're going to do the Killers again.
Bro,
Killers,
if they do the Killers, we're there, Mike.
Yeah, the Killers did it in Dallas a while back. I'm going to look that up real fast on YouTube.
You know what? Because I'm a Capital One cardholder member, right?
That's right.
I get to go to the front of the line, and I get to go to the Capital One lounge that they have there for the card holders. I got 2 cards. I'm like, which one you want? You want the platinum or you want the Quicksilver?
Okay, so check this out. This was a concert that I was at.
We can't play the music though, man. They can cancel us.
Okay, so this concert I was at, let's see, this was in 2014, right? This was the March Madness concert that they had. The Killers performed there. He's wearing a UNLV jersey at some point. But it was a great show. But I was standing just like right next to that dude, the guitarist. I was probably like right here. Got really, really close. It was a great, great show. The funny thing about this performance, though, was that it looked like there was a big crowd, Joe. There might have only been 500 people there.
Really?
And the reason why was because right before the show started, it started pouring rain. And a lot of people left. There might have been 500 people to 1,000 people there. Tops. It's a great show, Joe.
I can't wait, man. I want to go and see what acts are going to be coming here to the Alamo City. And mind you, all the acts that come here during that, the NCAA Final Four, right? NCAA Final Four, they're all free. Mm-hmm. The thing is, you just got to get your butt there and line up way ahead of time, because they're counting every single person who's entering the venue, because they can only allow so many people in.
Really?
Yeah. So as you're coming in, they're like, all right, we got so many. And they're on the radio talking how many people are in. And they count, right? They count, and then they're like, okay, let so many more people in. Let so many more people in, because they got to go through security and whatnot. But they can only house so many people in the venue. And then after that, you're basically just standing around. And if 2 or 3 people leave, then they'll let you in.
Oh, wow.
But it's like that because, I mean, it's a fire hazard.
Yeah.
You know?
You don't want to have an issue where there could be trampling.
Yeah, but if you're going to go early.
People are talking about New Order being better than Oasis and New Order deserving to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The Killers got their name from New Order. So New Order had a song back in the day called Crystal. And if you look back at that old music video, there's a fake band that is performing, Joe.
Really?
The fake band on the drum, they call themselves the Killers. So they got their name from that music video.
Okay.
In honor of New Order. It's kind of like Childish Gambino. Did you see how Childish Gambino got his name?
Yeah. How?
It was the back in the day. I'm gonna look it up right now. You know how Wu-Tang Clan has like so many members, like dozens of members, right? There's a name generator, Joe.
Really?
Here it is.
Let's see it.
So if you type in Donald Glover and say, what is your Wu-Tang name? It's Childish Gambino. That's how he got it, Joe.
Wow.
He got it from this name generator. So, Joe, do you want me to put down Joe Garcia or Joseph Garcia?
Joe Garcia.
Joe Garcia. Your Wu-Tang name is Gentleman Conqueror.
The hell is that, bro?
Michael Jimenez will now be known as Annoying Warrior.
Pledger, your dream came true.
James Pledger. Let's see. James Pledger's name is Erratic Bandit. Matt Lerma. Zexy Madman. Not sexy. Zexy with a Z.
I thought it was going to say Sohan Lover.
Chris Leha. Smiling Knight. Knight with a K. Okay. Who else we got out?
Sith, Lord Elias.
Well, I mean, that's not his real name.
Well, we could put Elias.
It's Elias. What again?
Oh, I don't know his last name. I just call him Elias.
Or
just put Sith Lord Elias. Just put it on there.
He says, put my name in there. Well, Jesus Rivera. Gentleman Mastermind. Sam Salinas.
There you go, Sam.
Fearless Pupil.
Okay.
Tony Ornelas. They all want their name.
Put my name. Do me next.
Drunken Specialist.
Put Jeff Garcia. Jeff Garcia. What would his name be?
Violent Swami.
God,
Annoying Warrior.
We have it on video right now. I got to tell Pledger, hey man, Mike's Wu-Tang name is Annoying Warrior. He's gonna be like, great.
So
great.
yeah, so this is an old thing that they had online, and Donald Glover, the singer, the actor, the dancer, the stand-up comedian, typed in Donald Glover and it said Childish Gambino, and that's how he got his name. This is the exact same thing that was there. Uber Flash saying that's going to come out saying Space City Mike. Do you tell
Chica that the people of the show are fans here have given you many names?
Yes.
Many names.
I'm going to look up hers.
Francesca.
Misunderstood leader.
Oh gosh.
You know what? I like that. I'm gonna take a photo of that for her.
Look at Sam Salinas. I will be adding Fearless Pupil to my profile.
So all you got to do is Google Wu-Tang name generator, and it takes you to this site. Who else we have? So my daughter Gabby Jimenez, Profound Wanderer.
Let's do Mario Cavazos.
Unlucky Swami. So who else was Swami?
You?
No. Jeff Garcia was.
I forgot what his name was. Something Swami.
Violent Swami.
Yeah. NASA Mike.
Put your ex's names in there. Oh my God. All right.
Oh, you know they're watching. Somebody's watching you.
Mad Swami. Sounds about right. What's up with the Swami action going on over here? First X is Amazing Criminal. Seems about right. Very nice, dude.
All sorts of weird stuff there with that generator. You know what? I wish
Annoying Warrior.
Yeah. You know what? Why don't we put Mitch Johnson's name in there? Just for shits and giggles, dude.
You know what? We should do the Spurs. We're gonna do the Spurs.
Let's do the Spurs. F it, dude. Let's do it, man.
Wu-Tang name generator. Here we go.
Why not?
Okay, Mitch Johnson. Intellectual Conqueror.
Okay. Coach Pop.
Violent Leader. Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah.
Wacko Beggar.
Wacko Beggar.
De'Aaron Fox. Phantom Observer. Jeremy Sohan. Unlucky Mercenary. Sounds about right. Stefan Castle. Respected specialist.
Okay.
I like this. This is the Wu-Tang name
Keldon
generator.
Johnson. Put Keldon Johnson in there.
Intellectual destroyer.
Yeah. I would say put Zach Collins, but what's his name now? Gone.
Gone.
Trey Jones. Gone.
Chris Paul, tough leader.
Hey.
Spelled Tuff.
I like it, dude. I like it.
Harrison Barnes.
The Toyota Corolla.
Expert genius, but it's spelled X-PERT genius.
Okay. You know what? Somebody said to go ahead and put in Jerry Jones. Let's put his name in there. What is it? What does he come out to be?
Pesty desperado.
Oh, that's a great one, dude. That's probably the best one of the day.
Again, Joe Garcia is forever known, according to Wu-Tang, as the gentleman conqueror. And I, one Michael Jimenez, is the annoying warrior.
What annoying warrior. That look at that, Chris Gonzalez. Annoying warrior, gentleman conqueror. Presenta the Area 210.
I love this so much. Joe.
Can you imagine, dude? Do you know how they used to announce the names back then? You know, like in medieval days?
Yeah.
They would have the squire come out with the scroll.
Hear ye, hear ye.
The annoying warrior.
The annoying warrior and gentleman conqueror presenta the Area 210 podcast, brought to you by MCS General Contracting.
Have the squire come out and give you all the names.
Oh, Joe, I'm glad that the people who listen to this podcast realize that that's how Childish Gambino came to be.
Just by that.
That Donald Glover went on that exact same website, just typed up his name as a Wu-Tang member, and it came out Childish Gambino goes, you know what, I'm going to release an album under this name. That generator's been around for like 15 years.
Jeez.
And it doesn't get old.
You know what we're talking about, right? You talk about this every now and then, right? What things have you seen on Netflix or what have you that are pretty good, right? So I haven't had a lot of free time, right? But lately I've been trying to make time, right, to watch something, right? It's like, you know what? I need to get away and unplug from everything because I do a lot of work, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, I need to unplug and just, mindless TV. So I watched two things the other week, right? This last weekend. One of them is a film with Jason Bateman in it, dude, on Netflix called Carry On. It was very good.
Okay, so it looks cheesy.
It was good.
It was good?
It was good.
All right, okay.
It was a good movie. I liked it. It was enjoyable. It's a very action-packed film, right? Thriller and all that. The next thing that I watched is like, I'm going to watch a series, right? Something that's going to pique my interest. The Night Agent.
Which one's that one?
It's on Netflix, dude. They got 2 seasons. Very good. Very good.
Huh. Oh, I know. I recognize that guy.
Yeah, well, I watched it and I liked it, man.
My girlfriend and I finished up Superstore. I had already seen it all, but
Yeah.
we finished it up over the past weekend. We have to go on to another show. Don't know what we're going to do next, man.
Night Agent. You should watch The Night Agent. Telling you, it's a good series.
I mean, she's going to fall in love with that guy, and I just don't know.
Oh, my.
You know, it's funny. Do you ever okay, because I work at home, you work from home.
Yeah.
I don't know if you keep the TV on.
I do. I have to, man.
Just to kind of just whatever.
If you look behind you, that's my office, right?
Right.
What am I be doing all day but looking at a wall?
Right.
Yeah.
So you got to have some TV on.
Kind of something.
I had last night while I was working, because I worked till about 12:30, 1 a.m. doing client accounts yesterday.
Yeah.
And I turned on Hulu and I just randomly sucked at a movie. I hadn't seen this movie in years, and I forgot how much I enjoyed it. And I hate it because I'm not a big fan of Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah.
But that movie that he had with Cameron Diaz, What Happens in Vegas,
Yeah.
that was an entertaining movie. And I wouldn't even call it a rom-com, because whenever you hear rom-com, you think that it's from like the girl's perspective. It's like, a girl-driven rom-com. This is a guy-driven rom-com, kind of like Forgetting Sarah Marshall is. Have you ever seen that movie?
Yeah, I forgot. I saw that one, Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
But no, have you seen What Happens in Vegas?
Oh, yeah, no, I've seen that one.
Okay, so basically...
With Nicolas Cage.
No, that's Leaving Las Vegas.
Leaving Las Vegas, yeah.
What Happens in Vegas is Cameron Diaz and Ashton Kutcher, and they go to Vegas, not together. They're on separate parties.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a drunken night where they get married, and one of them hits a $3 million jackpot on a slot machine, and is like, "Oh, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich," and the other one's like, "But we're married." So even though they had just met that night.
Yeah.
So the question is basically, how do you divide those assets? It's a funny movie, dude. It's a funny premise. It's a good movie. Ashton Kutcher, Cameron Diaz when she was still a nugget. She has a new movie out on Netflix with Jamie Foxx.
I saw that, man. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it or not. I don't. It looks kind of cheesy, man.
Yeah, everyone kept on telling me that they liked that movie, but I saw 5 minutes of it and it looked like cheesy graphics.
Yeah.
So I had a hard time with it.
And I'm gonna go.
But I
ahead-
like both of those.
Shout out to Sith Elias here. He was telling us, man, final episodes of Cobra Kai have been released, man. So if you're a fan of Cobra Kai, there you go, man. Cobra Kai never dies.
Yeah. My girlfriend and I, she just texted me. I sent her a photo early today. On the way over here,
Yeah.
I saw the ugliest car I'd ever seen in my life.
Really?
And when I say ugliest car, it's not because it's the ugliest car. It's because I know how much money was probably spent on it.
And what was it? A Cybertruck?
Well, those are god awful,
They're
dude.
ugly, dude.
Dude, you have a Cybertruck, you have a tiny dick. That is just it, dude.
Tell that to the neighbor right here down the street, dude. He has one.
That's the tiny dick mobile, dude. Seriously.
The car is worth more than the house, dude.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
I saw someone driving a Porsche Cayenne, right? That's how you pronounce it? I don't know.
Yeah, Cayenne.
It was Gaga Brown.
It was the SUV, right?
It was like a hatchback SUV type of thing.
Yeah, they're really small.
And it was also a hybrid.
Oh man.
Oh, and I looked up the price, starting at $101,000.
Yeah, no, bro.
Dude, I'd rather have a Toyota Corolla over that car. I'd rather have a Toyota Corolla Cross, that SUV that my daughter has, over that car. Matt Larimer's taking off. Have a fantastic day.
Yeah, thanks for watching,
Jason
Matt.
Garcia reminding everybody to hit the like button. That's the thing. We have people who are watching. Hit the like button now and help us out.
Look at what does he say? They got married while not out of sound mind. Marriage annulled. She don't get shit. Movie over.
Actually, that's not how the movie went, dude. It went in different directions. It was a good movie. It was cute. It was cute.
Look at JHNSB. Mike is gonna lift his truck for those Costco runs.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned that because my girlfriend asked me what I wanted for Christmas, for my birthday. My birthday's in a few weeks.
Francisca.
And she asked me, she was like, "What do you want for your birthday?" I was like, "I don't know." She goes, "Well, I know what I want to get you." Like, what? A truck lift kit.
Hey,
Those. I mean, that would
Wow.
look tough.
why would you say no?
I know.
Right?
Her son can install them too, so we don't have to pay for installation.
Why would you say no?
We're gonna go to see Babyface in concert on March 8th over at Lake Charles. If anyone wants to hang out, I'll be in Lake Charles.
I'm gonna be going to the
Golden Nugget.
Whitewater over in September the 6th.
Mhm.
That weekend, that Saturday. I'm gonna go see Blues Traveler, Gin Blossoms, and the Spin Doctors, dude. Talk about a blast from the past.
My
man.
daughter Gabby loves Spin Doctors.
Should take her there, man. They got seats still up there in the upper level. I'm not sitting down, like I said, below, mingling with the peasants, man. I'm not gonna stand in the freaking gravel and all that. I want to sit down.
It's in
dude.
September, you said?
September the 6th. Tickets are selling out quick, dude.
Wow.
2 upper level tickets, right? To go sit down and have a good view of the stage and everything.
You meant
After prices, after the tack-ons and all that, $400 for 2 tickets.
Sith coming out saying, "Lifted truck, talk about a small dick." Again, it's not one of those Tesla trucks, okay? At least. Hey, you mentioned Blues Traveler. Have you ever read the lyrics to The Hook?
Yeah.
That's actually a very interesting song when you read the lyrics about, basically how you can feed somebody BS and then, and then just kind of, basically sleight of hand to change the subject.
Yeah.
It's actually very interesting lyrics to
You
that
heard-
song.
The one thing that I liked about Blues Traveler is, the guy can sing, right?
Yeah, John Popper.
John Popper can sing, and they can play,
He's
and all
skinnier
that.
now, right?
Oh yeah, he lost a lot of weight. But the reason that they always had that black cat, right, as their mascot or what have you, their logo, is they were saying that every time they would go and play at a venue, right, every time they would go somewhere, they would see this black cat.
Mhm.
It didn't matter where they would go, they would always see this black cat. So he's like, you know what, the hell with that, we're just gonna put the black cat as the logo or whatever for Blues Traveler, and that's how it came to be.
Wow, that's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
A kind of superstitious kind of thing,
I'm looking at photos of John Popper. John Popper had gastric bypass surgery in the 90s, lost
Yeah.
230 pounds. and he's now under 200. At his peak was 430 pounds.
But he's a big guy though. Like he's not like he's a big guy, but he's big in stature too. You know?
Yeah. I saw John Popper on the TV show Pawn Stars.
Yeah.
Where he was giving away one of his harmonicas. That music back in the 90s was kind of interesting because you look at like John Popper, Blues Traveler. There was that one 3-year season there where bands like John Popper's band, Blues Traveler, Dave Matthews Band, where it was kind of like intellectual rock, right? You'd go over to the concerts and it was intellectual. Those weren't the people at the Soundgarden concert. You didn't see them at STP, but they would go to Dave Matthews Band.
Yeah,
they would go see. And Dave Matthews Band, fantastic music. Dave Matthews sounds like a frog, but musically it's great. And I like Dave Matthews.
What is that song he says? What did you say? He always has that nasally kind of voice, right?
Well, he's South African.
Yeah, but I'm saying that when he sings, it doesn't sound like it's coming from his mouth. It sounds like it's nasally. He has an annoying voice, dude. I never was a fan of the Dave Matthews Band.
His best song, my two favorite Dave Matthews songs it's called Number 41.
Yeah,
it's on the Crash album.
Oh yeah, no.
Also on the Crash album is a song called Crush, not Crash, not Crash Into Me.
Yeah,
which by the way, Crash Into Me is about doggy style. That's literally what the song is about.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere. The Cochino Mike, you gotta warn a brother first, man.
Dude, that's literally what the song is about.
God, man.
Have you ever heard the lyrics of that song?
No.
You know what Crash Into Me means? A rapper would say, "You back that ass up."
Let Jesse, hey yo, Mike.
Sam Slid is saying Crush is an amazing song. Crush is a great song, but Crash Into Me, go find the lyrics of that song. It is a dirty ass song.
There's a lot of dirty ass songs that they play out here on the radio, man.
Or am I gonna have to read these lyrics?
You want to do it? That's on you, man. Because whatever you put up out here right now, they're gonna make a meme of you.
Literally he sings, "You crash into me, and I come into you."
God, Mike,
that's a literal lyric in the song.
You're giving the internet gold right now, dude. You're giving them gold.
Hike up your skirt a little more and show your world to me. Hike up your skirt a little more, show your world to me. In a boy's dream, it's a boy's dream. I watch you there in the window and I stare that you wear nothing at all, but you wear it so well. We're tied up, we're twisted the way that I like to be. For you, for me, come crash into me, baby, and I'll come into you. Come on. That's literally what the song is about.
Cochinos.
But you sing it with a violin and you go, you got your ball, you've got your chain tied to me tight. Hey, tie me up again. Tie me up again? Come on, man.
Hey, you know what? I did I recorded an episode of Locked On Spurs right this morning before we did the show.
You didn't
with Jeff.
You didn't what's it called you didn't show him up?
No, man, I showed up on time. I was ready to do the show and everything. I don't big time Jeff, I don't big time him. But I was trying to tell him, man, to come to the party next week. So hopefully he'll show up, man. I told him, come on, man, just come out. I told him he don't have to sing. I think he's feeling the pressure that we want him to get up on stage. Don't sing, Jeff. Just come out,
come
man.
On, play. Come on, play.
We
have a super chat coming in from Jason Garcia, the Pacific Northwest, out there in Portland, Oregon, saying, "Can I get a grito for my friend who's watching the show with me?" For your friend, this is for you, my man.
Hold on. Before we get to that, did we get to the other super chat that we had?
Oh, Hooper Flash, $1.99 saying rodeo road trips haven't been the same post Kawhi, dude. Kawhi ain't walking out of that locker room, dude. I don't think we remember how great Kawhi was when he was a Spur. When he was a Spur, he was amazing.
But should they retire the jersey?
Yeah, they should.
All right. We'll do the grito. We'll be back here.
Por presumir a mis amigos les conté que nel amor.
That's for Jason Garcia's friend. I hope Jason Garcia sang along and did the grito as well.
There you go. Everybody loves the grito, man. But like I said, we need to update the grito, and we need to put a price tag on the grito, right?
Mm-hmm.
First two gritos, what did we say? $5, right?
We have breaking news coming in. How come no one told us about this? Let me double check this.
You're gonna fact check before you.
I'm going to fact check before going. Yep. Aaron Rodgers, one word to describe him. Gone. The New York Jets have moved on from Aaron Rodgers. According to ESPN.com, it says it is official. The Aaron Rodgers era in New York is over. He was there for 2 years. Remember that first game? Everyone was all excited, and then he got hurt for the whole season.
Yeah.
And the Jets have said, quote, they are wishing him well with everything he's got going on. Aaron Rodgers, 41 years old, is now a free agent. And guess what, Joe?
Good.
The Jets are going to have to eat so much cap space. That's how bad they didn't want him there. They're like, you know what we're going to do? We're just going to have some cap space. The Jets will face $49 million in dead money when they release him. They can decide to take the hit. This is according to Adam Schefter of ESPN. $49 million in dead money. They can take a full hit this year, or they can designate him as a June 1 cut, which will basically spread it out.
Just take the hit.
Just take the hit, man. Move on. That's what Denver did with Russell Wilson. Just take the hit. That's what the Saints are going to do with Derek Carr.
Yeah.
Just take the hit. And in 2 years, in the year 2028, when the Cowboys finally move on from Dak Prescott, they will take a hit then.
Yeah.
So the Cowboys have to suffer through them through 26, 27, 28, then the cap hit season. So really the Cowboys rebuild doesn't begin until 2030.
Yep. That's why I'm going to probably wind up joining the Bills Mafia. I'm going to say, F it, dude. I ain't waiting around for that. By that time, Jerry should be put in the ground, put in the dirt, buried, done, gone. You know what? When they say, man, big news is coming.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry Jones, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, has passed away. You know what I'm going to say?
Good. Aaron Rodgers is gone. Apparently, the Pittsburgh Steelers are kicking the tires on Trevor Lawrence, the Jacksonville Jaguars, and saying, hey, is he available for trade? Interesting. The carousel begins, Joe. What's going to end up happening to Sam Darnold? Sam Darnold, who led the Minnesota Vikings to a 14-win season and then wet the bed on the last game of the regular season and wet the bed in the playoffs against the Commanders. What's going to happen there?
Oh, man. I try to warn Brandon Big Papi Medina, dude, that it was coming. He didn't want to listen to me, man.
Thought you had it.
He thought he had it. Got to be quicker than that. He was talking to me, too, because we had a breakfast, right? We hadn't seen each other in a while. We went out to Las Palapas, and we did some day drinking out there. It was good times, man. And he was like, man, if they go to the Super Bowl, I got to start thinking about tickets and what's my price point and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Said, it ain't going to happen, bro. They're going to break your heart. Sure enough. Same thing with the Detroit Lions. I knew this was going to happen. We tried telling people, man, they didn't want to listen.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened? The wheels finally came off.
Do. The Lions were going to Lion.
They
the
were
Vikings
fool's gold.
Were Viking. We're at the NBA midway point right now as far as the All-Star break. Spurs don't play again until next week when they play in Austin at the Moody Center. Tickets as low as $75. They take on the Suns.
Oh, I got
it's going to be a game on TNT. So look at that nationally televised game going to be in Austin.
I got the memo from Nancy Gonzalez, Spurs rep, right? That's assigned to me. Oh, we have reduced tickets for the Moody Center and all that. Nobody wanted to go see this team, dude.
Dude,
why are you going to spend all that money to go to Austin? You got to find a place to stay.
It's going to be sold out.
Right.
The people of Austin are going to buy it.
But why? Just to go.
When I went to that game in Austin a couple of years ago, the people there literally were telling me we're here not because we're a basketball fan, because it was something new to do.
Yeah, I get that, man. But at the end of the day, me as a Spurs fan, I can just wait for him to come back home and watch him here. Mm-hmm. Why am I going to go to Austin to watch it? F that, bro.
I think I'm going to pull the clip, Joe, of us talking about the Spurs players as Childish Gambino, as Wu-Tang members. That's fun. I'll pull that clip and I'll post that later on. We didn't give love to Jeff Garcia, though, of Locked On Spurs.
No, we got to give some love to Jeff. Locked On Spurs is your daily Spurs podcast, hosted by Jeff Garcia, the lead Spurs writer for Ken's 5 San Antonio. Jeff has a healthy plethora of guests all the time on the Locked On Spurs podcast. You can also follow Jeff on threads at JeffG105SA. You can also follow Jeff on Twitter at JeffGSpursZone. So make sure you go ahead and give Jeff a follow not only on threads and Twitter, but also on YouTube at youtube.com/at Locked On Spurs. This is where you're going to be able to find the replay of the Locked On Spurs podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share.
That's right. As you mentioned, you will be on Locked On Spurs tomorrow.
No,
if I'm not
I'm-
mistaken.
I think I'm gonna be tomorrow, I think, or Monday. No, tomorrow. And then on Monday, I told him I could volunteer if he needed me.
Are we gonna do a show on Monday? Federal holiday.
I'm off, man. I'm taking the day off. Take the effing day off, Mike.
Yeah, because I'm off from work. Because when the
Take
stock
off.
market's closed, I'm closed.
You know what? Maybe you go to the rodeo, dude, because it's half price that day.
Oh, nice.
You know,
nice.
go to the rodeo. Go have some fun.
We're taking a look right now of our poll questions. Is Chris Paul washed? 160 votes in, 51% saying yes. Should the Spurs start tanking? 59% saying yes, 41% saying no. Over 100 votes when it comes to that. I saw this Dallas sports fans. What is this called? Is this the Gulf of Mexico? Is this the Gulf of America? It's the Gulf of fired Nico Harrison.
I like it.
Apparently, that fan was given floor seats to the next Mavericks game and an apology by Mark Cuban.
And an apology. They should give that brother lifetime tickets to Mavs games. He's a diehard fan that's not afraid to speak his mind.
Yeah.
You know, that shows how much passion and love he has for the team. Help that brother
So
out, man.
MFFL Nation saying Mark Cuban has given one of the fans that got kicked out of the AAC last game courtside seats to the Mavs Warriors matchup. As an I'm sorry again. If you didn't see it, he started screaming, sit the F down.
All right, Coach Pop.
Here it is. Here it is. I do respect the fact that he wears hoodies all over the place.
Yeah.
He and Mark Zuckerberg are the billionaire hoodies. Everyone have a fantastic day. Spurs don't play for a week. We're going to be talking more about the Spurs, the NFL, things that are going on. Again, Aaron Rodgers is out of New York, no longer a member of the Jets. Lots to get into tomorrow. We'll get more pop culture in. Joe, we need to talk about food.
Okay, let's talk about food. What kind of food?
We'll figure something out, man. We'll figure something out. But everyone have a fantastic day. We'll be back tomorrow. My name is Mike Jimenez. That's Joe Garcia. I am the Annoying Warrior. And Joe, you are the
Gentleman Conqueror.
Very nice. We'll be back tomorrow.
Peace.